Today, we're comparing my Broncolor lights with Paul's Godox lights. And Paul's got the Godox SK402, which he tells me are £130 a head. So that's a £260 two-light setup. We're not including light stands. And we're comparing it to about a £16,000 two-light light setup, which is obviously a ridiculous comparison to do, but it's going to bring out some very interesting points and answer a lot of the questions you have as to whether or not it's worth spending £16,000 more. And in a lot of cases, it isn't, but in some, if you have some of these certain circumstances and you're working, you'll very quickly see why it is, and most of the internet seems to ignore these issues. So what we've done as a test, we've got a full-powered light here. Full power is the best power on almost every light because it uses the entire capacitor. It's the most likely way to get 100% accuracy from that light. And then we've got another light over here on 1/16 power. That is a low power. It is more likely to have issues with color and exposure consistency. We've then mirrored the exposure with the Broncolor lighting. We're getting f25 from the key light and f20 from the fill light, and we're shooting at f16 because my bellows here, they eat up a lot of light. Between that, we're going to test these lights, and I'm going to show you where they're good, where they're bad, where you can get away with the cheap lights, and where you need to spend the money. We're going to do a much bigger deep dive over on Studio Access for this, for those who are actually working as photographers or want that extra information. This is going to be a little bit of an overview just to show you. So first thing we do, we take a color tester frame, and this is just to get the white balance right. Already my trigger's gone to sleep, there we go. The white balance right for these lights. The white balance between the two lights is different, but it can be corrected with a click of a button. That is not worth a £16,000 upgrade. So we've got the corrected white balance. Here comes frame one. So there we go. Image quality wise, yeah, it looks, I mean, I don't know what to say about it. It's a picture of my pocket wizard with a shadow and a bit of fill. It looks to me, and again, we're looking at a laptop here, that the top left-hand corner is blue and the bottom right-hand corner is slightly warmer. And that could just be, we won't know until we get the Broncolor lights because I know how they react, the way it is. So I'm going to take a few frames here, not in burst mode, normal shoot mode. I'm just going to see what happens. So already we're not keeping up with me physically. This is not like I'm pressing it and holding it. I'm just pressing it. How are we looking for colours so far, Paul? So we've got a shift in, or we've got three shifts actually. So we've got a shift in colour coming through here. I'm not sure how well you'll see this on a YouTube screen recording through your monitors as well, which assumes they're accurate, but we've got a colour shift. We've also got an exposure shift frame to frame, and then we've got a shift in the shadow density. So there's three different shifts there. Now, the exposure shift as a one-off shot does not matter. And even if you're, as long as it's equal, I don't think it is though, but as long as it's equal, it doesn't matter. The shadow shift is what's telling us the exposure shift isn't equal between these two lights. It's an imbalance between these two lights that is causing that shadow shift. That can be an issue. The color shift is not fixable here. It's fixable if we're just using one light. If it was a one light setup, we could fix it. We'd fix the color cast from that one light. But these two lights are giving different color inaccuracies to each other. They're not just wrong, they're wrong in different directions. So you can't correct that. And then frame to frame, they're different amounts of wrong. Now there's actually a 3-stop difference on the Broncolor pack head to head, but it required a 4-stop difference on the Godox packs, which doesn't make sense because a stop is a stop. And what we've learned from metering the Godox lights is that from one full power to half is not one stop of light. Half to a quarter is not one stop of light. Quarter to an eighth is not one stop of light. The difference varies. And then on top of that varying between each stop, it varies day to day and it varies throughout the day. That makes repeatability incredibly difficult. If I was shooting this pocket wizard here and they had a range of 50 different colors and I needed this 2-light setup to shoot them for a website, it would cost us a lot of money. And here's why. Because of the color shift, we couldn't just use these shots. We'd have to color correct each individual frame, and that would take a long time because it's not just a white balance shift here. We're going to be dodging and burning color shifts in. We'd have to do the exposure on every single frame because they wouldn't be the same. We'd have to cut out the background rather than just using what comes through because the background will be a different color and a different exposure. So as you put them all next to each other, they'll look miles out. And that is where the £16,000 increase comes in. Because if you're using these lights as a one-off to do something with one light and it doesn't matter and it's not critical, they're fine, they're perfect, they're brilliant. But if I was a pack shot photographer, which is where you just shoot stuff and white things all day, this would end up costing me a fortune in time and money for post-production to try and fix it. And that's before you get onto things like the usability of it, the sustainability of it, the repairability of it. We've just got a pack sent off to Pear Tree for repair from Broncolor, which I bought broken. And I think the repair's what, £400? Yeah, under £400. So under £400, I bought the pack for 150. It's worth £2 grand. Good deal all in. Shouldn't have bought it because I'm banned from buying stuff. But that's where we are with this. We're going to go into much more detail on this in Studio Access. But for now, let's move over to some Broncolor. And before I even do a colour chart, I just want to show you what the actual overall colour difference is between Broncolor and Godox. So we'll just turn the Bron pack on. Let's grab a frame of that. So that is how much difference there is. They're metered the same, and this is the exposure difference. But it's more of a colour difference than anything else. And you can see there is much more evenness in the colour on the Broncolor packs. Now we're going to do a white balance. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. Just grab that frame there. Perfect. And now I'm just going to start taking shots. All good? Now straight away, every frame is being lit. We've not got any dead frames here. Any variation? There's no variation. Now, one of the reasons this test works so well is because I'm using a manual lens. And I'm not talking about manual focus. Most lenses use what's called automatic aperture. And that is where the aperture blades fire and close each time for each frame. It allows autofocus to work better and all the rest of it. It's a great convenience. It's not great in a studio setting though, because you'd take 100 shots at f/16, you'll get 100 different exposures, anywhere from between like f14.5 and f18, depending on where it throws itself to. The longer the exposure you use, the more accurate it gets, because it's less time trying to critically hit it. So when your flash is firing off at 10,000th of a second, that becomes really critical. So this Actar lens really helps with that. And you'll just see a constant, repeatable, that slight flicker you see as each frame comes up, that's just the JPEG loading for the preview. But can we just pull up one of these next to a color corrected Godox one, just so we can compare the two frames? Is there any difference in image quality? So is it there? I mean, I could come up with some ever so slight differences I can see between the two of them, which is down to the reflector. I don't think on a shot like this, you're getting anything better in image quality. And everything you are getting that's better is from these reflectors. The reflectors on the Broncolor are much nicer. It doesn't really make a difference on a shot of a black plastic item. In a portrait it would, with certain food it would. It depends on the subject matter. If you're doing pack shots, no, there is no difference. Can you see a difference in image quality? It's pretty much identical. Like slight different highlight reproduction, slight different shadow. It's just the reflectors. There's no meaningful difference that I can see. I would say image quality wise, if you're looking for brilliant image quality, light is light until you put like, I don't know, parabolics in there or really expensive octoboxes and things like that. But if you need to do a repeatable shot or a composite shot, these Godox lights cannot do it. It's not even close. The amount of time and effort it would take you in post. I mean, if we started shooting with these lights instead of the Broncolor ones, my retouching bill and my delivery timeline would just be horrific. We'd be losing money. But that's not to say, if when I started out in photography, I bought these here instead of the Godox, I had Bowens, which are the equivalent of these really. If I had gone straight to Broncolor, I wouldn't have made it pro quicker, and I wouldn't have saved money at the beginning because my work wasn't good enough for it to actually make a difference.